The Snowdrops Pullover comes in a kids version from ages 6 months to 14 years old and an adults version from size extra small to 5 extra large. It is worked from the top down starting at the neckline with raglan shaping and lace throughout. There are short rows at the back for better fit around the neckline and shoulders, and all ribbings are finished off with a tubular bind off. The stitch pattern used in the lace of the Snowdrops Pullover is very easy to memorize. It is 6 rows long, where all odd number rows have lace stitches and even number rows are worked as stockinette, which is going to be purled on the wrong side when worked flat or knit on the right side when worked in the round. In between the 6 lace rows, there are 4 stockinette rows separating the lace panels. When working the raglan shaping on the yoke, you will need to use markers to indicate the placement of the raglan increases and where the lace starts and finishes in each section. At the end of each lace panel, you will need to move the lace markers outwardly to make room for more lace repetition. In this video, I will show you how to make all of the lace stitches used in the pattern, as well as how to move the markers whenever you need to move them. I will also teach you how to do the increases that you need for this pattern and how to work the lace on the wrong side during the short rows. I'm going to use this little sample to show you how the lace works inside the lace markers, how to manage the different markers that you will have, and how to do the left and right leaning increases for the pattern. So first I'm going to work my edging, which you don't need to work on edging obviously, but if you're making a swatch, I recommend that you do a little edging first. So I've got my little edging, and then let's imagine that this is my raglan marker. I'm going to knit 1, and then I'm going to do a knit left loop increase. So I'm going to pick up the leg of the stitch below the previous stitch, like this, pop it on my left hand needle and knit it there. And then this is my lace marker, which means that now I'm going to start working my lace. For that, I'm going to start with a slip knit pass over. So slip 1, knit 1, pass stitch over. Then yarn over 1, knit 1, yarn over 1, and knit it together. So this is a row 1 of my lace. Then I'm going to knit 3, which are the stitches in between the flowers, and I'm going to repeat that. Slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, yarn over 1, knit 1, yarn over 1, knit it together. And there you go. Then as you can see, I have arrived at my lace marker. I'm going to pass that one. Then I'm going to do a knit right loop increase. So this is a stitch on my needle, and this is the stitch underneath it. So I'm going to pull that one, pop it onto my left needle, and then knit it there. And then knit 1, pass my raglan marker, and continue with my edging, which in your case it would be the next section, right? Because you're working with the raglan section. So now there are 2 stitches in between my lace and raglan markers, and I have my lace in between the lace markers. If you're working in the round, all of the even rows will be knit, but if you're working flat like I am, they will be purl. Okay, so I have purled, and you can see the little yarn over eyelets there. And now I'm going to do another right side row. Now, not all sizes will be increasing on every right side row, but I'm going to pretend that this size that I'm working is, so that we can continue practicing those increases, okay? So I'm going to do my edging again, raglan marker, knit 1, do my left loop increase, and then knit until my lace marker. Pass my marker, and now I'm going to do row 3 of the lace, which is probably the trickiest one. So I'm going to knit 1, yarn over,
And then I'm going to do a slip 2, knit 1, pass 2 slip stitches over. So yarn over, slip 2 knitwise separately, knit 1, and then those 2 stitches that I slipped, I'm going to pass them over the knit stitch. That's going to create a little bump in there, like a little twisted knot. Yarn over, and then knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to do that again. Yarn over, slip 2, knit 1, and pass the slip stitches over the knit stitch. Yarn over, and knit 1. There you go. And then I've reached the lace marker, so I'm going to knit until 1 stitch before my raglan marker, and I'm going to do my right leaning increase, knit 1, raglan marker, and continue. Just like before, my wrong side row is going to be all stockinette, which in my case I'm going to purl. But if you are working on the round, you're going to be knitting that row. Alright, so I have purled my wrong side row, and now I'm going to work another right side row, which is actually a repeat of row 1. Edging, raglan marker, knit 1, and I'm going to do another increase here. Then I'm going to knit until my lace marker, pass my lace marker, and do my lace. And just like I did on the first row, I'm going to slip, knit, pass over, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and knit 2 together. This is why this lace is so nice, because it's very easy to remember. Knit, knit 3, and repeat. Slip 1, knit 1, pass over, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and knit 2 together. Okay, now I'm at my lace marker. I pass my lace marker, knit until 1 before my raglan marker, increase, knit 1, raglan marker, and continue. And again, just like before, we're going to purl the wrong side row. And there you go. This is the first completed lace panel, and you can see the little tiny snowflake flowers there happening, and you can see how and between the raglan markers and the lace markers we have more stitches than when we started, because we are increasing as we go. So now, according to the pattern, we need to work 4 stockinette rows. Alright, so I've only done 2 rows of stockinettes so far, and I should do 2 more, and on the 4th one make the marker changes, but since I'm going to be working on the wrong side, then I'm going to do the marker changes now. So according to the pattern, you should move the lace markers outwardly by 4 stitches, as long as there's 5 or more stitches in between the markers. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't do any increases on the previous right side row, so I only have 4 stitches. If I move the lace marker outwardly 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would go right next to the raglan marker. So I wouldn't have 1 stitch in between. I have to have 1 stitch or more in between these 2 markers, always. So since I don't have enough stitches, I'm going to move it inwardly 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move it right here. If I had 5 stitches, then yes, I could move it over to the right. Okay, so I have my raglan marker, And I'm going to knit all the way to my marker because I'm going to move this one inwardly. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to put my marker right here. And then I'm going to knit. And I need to check where I need to put this marker because I also have 4 stitches here, so I can't put it next to the raglan marker. So I'm going to have to move it 4 stitches over. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have to put it right there. I'm going to knit. I'm going to slip those 4 stitches, remove my marker, return those 4 stitches, and then pop my marker in. And then knit again all the way until the end of the row. I'll reach my raglan marker. So depending on the size, you will have a different amount of increases and a different amount of stitches in between the markers. During the short rows, you will need to do things on the wrong side. You will need to do the lace on the wrong side, and you will need to do increases on the wrong side. So I wanted to show you what that will look like because that's a little bit trickier than working them on the right side. So we're going to first work our edging. Pass the marker. Purl one because we're on the wrong side, right? So we're going to be purling. And then to increase, it's the exact same thing. We're just going to do it on the purl side. So we're going to pick up the bump from the purl stitch below, and we're going to purl that stitch. And then I'm going to purl until I reach my lace marker. And I'm going to pass the lace marker, and I'm going to work my lace on the wrong side. So I'm going to do a purl 2 together, pick them up from the back and purl those 2 together. And then I'm going to do yarn over, purl 1, yarn over, slip, slip, and then we're going to purl them from the back and purl. And that is the first row of the lace on the wrong side. And I'm going to continue knitting, or purling more like, all the way until my lace marker, or 1 before my lace marker, and I'm going to do an increase here. So again, I'm going to pick up the bump, pop it onto my left hand needle, and then I'm going to purl that stitch. And then purl again, pass my raglan marker, and continue knitting. And there you go. Now I'm going to turn it around, and just like before, we're going to be doing stockinette on every even row, right? Okay. Now we're going to get back to the next row, and we're going to do the same thing. Edging first, then pass my raglan marker. I'm going to purl 1, and then I'm going to omit the increase here. Remember, we're not going to be increasing on every row. Just make sure you follow your table that corresponds to your size to make sure that you're doing that correctly. And then once you reach the marker, this is where the fun part starts. So I'm going to purl 1. So this is row 3 of the lace, and here I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to do a slip, 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 purl. So I'm going to put my yarn in front, slip 1, slip 2, slip 3. I'm going to pass them all to my left hand needle again, and I'm going to grab my yarn again so that it doesn't get caught. And I'm going to purl them all together from the back loop, which is the trickiest stitch. 1, 2, 3. There you go. I'm going to put my yarn in and then pull it out. So this is the trickiest stitch of the whole pattern. But once you get it, it's a lot easier. Yarn over again, purl one, and then pass my lace marker again. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. That was that twisted little slip purl. And we have our other bottom increases. Now, just like before, we're going to repeat the first row at the top to finish off our lace flowers. Okay, so you're going to purl two together, yarn over, purl one, yarn over, and then slip purl. So we're gonna slip two knitwise. Don't forget about your yarn over. Don't lose that yarn over. And then we're going to pick them up through the back loop only with our yarn in front and pass it out. And there you go. And then continue to purl to the end of the row. Alright, so here I've worked a couple more rows of stockinette, and you can see very clearly your little flower and the two little flowers. So you see how they've alternated in this space that we had empty. Now this is where the flowers are. And if we had been able to move the markers outwardly, then we would have had one here and one here. Now that I finished this lace panel, on the next one, I'm going to be able to move my markers over by 4 stitches. So you don't want to go all the way to the end. You're not going to just do 4 or 4, 8. All right, so only 4, because otherwise you'd have to have 12 stitches to be able to move it over, which no sizes ever have. So just move it by 4 stitches, which would be here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be here. So this is where the markers would go, which means that you would have 2 flowers again on the next lace panel, and this would be empty stockinette below this flower. And that's it. So the wrong side lace is probably the hardest part of this, but hopefully this video will help you understand how to do those increases. I love these increases because they're just so faint, like they don't leave too much of a mark, and they just look very, very pretty. And this bit is the hardest part when you're working on the wrong side, but it's only one panel of flowers that is worked on the wrong side during the short row. So hopefully you can get through it real quick and get to the fun part of just working lace on the right side throughout and in the round, which means that there's barely any purl stitches. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or feel free to email me. I'll see you later. Bye!